Hey everyone, how's it going? So for today's video, we'll just follow up a little bit on this uh, trend line that I spoke about and the potential of this being a giant descending triangle pattern. And we'll just do the usual 3-day down to the lower time frames. So just to kind of follow up on this, as I mentioned, I wasn't trying to make it like a pattern. I wasn't really trying to draw the pattern. It's there. But me personally, I don't like to trade patterns. The only thing I actually rely on is if I have a trend line like this, basically being a resistance, becoming a support, then being a resistance again, then I put a lot of value on that. But if I were to look at this as a pattern, like I could literally put this horizontal here and it's valid because it's getting the hits. It's getting it has at least 3 touches of bodies, and it has a bunch of wicks touching it too, respecting it too. So that level is valid. But then again, I could even move it here and it's still valid. So that's the thing with patterns, like you can keep readjusting the lines and they'll still be valid. So that reduces the hit rate for me. That reduces the odds of it having a good bias, a good confluence with what I'm trying to do, and I can't really rely on something like this. But if we were to put it here, this actually confirms this as sort of a swing failure, or actually not over there, like more like here. Yeah, here, I would say here. So if we were to put it here, this kind of confirms it as a swing failure pattern because we had closes below it and we kind of broke down, but then we went right back in it. So somebody that was trading it there, they can just adjust it and bring it here. Be like, oh no, it's still a pattern. It didn't break down, so that means it didn't do a swing failure. So it means it can still bounce around in here and then just break down because the this pattern 66% of the time breaks to the downside. So somebody that's trying to see what they want to see on the chart, they could literally just keep adjusting this, keep moving this up and down and make the pattern still valid. So that's why I personally don't put weight on it. But what I'm doing right now, the way I'm looking at this right now, I'm saying, okay, either it was here and it was valid, or either it was here and it's valid. And I kind of look at both scenarios. So I say, okay, if this is a descending triangle and we had a swing failure pattern, then that means the breakout from here is gonna be pretty insane if it actually happens, if this was a scenario. And if it wasn't, and if this is what it's supposed to be and this is what it's going to play out from, then the breakdown is still going to be pretty crazy. Because if you actually draw a measured move from here, there's the targets ends up being on the top side on the resistances, and on the bottom side basically the 24k 19k that everybody's talking about, like something around there. I don't like to do measured moves, but it actually lines up on both sides. So if it is to break down, it lines up with the resistance of the long-term time frame somewhere around here, I believe, like somewhere here. And on the bottom side, it lines up with, I believe, the 19. Is it 19? Oh wow, it actually ends up, yeah, somewhere around here. So that's actually lower. That's strange. Um, yeah, so basically, I'm being mindful that, okay, if we get a big move up, it's gonna be pretty crazy. If we get a big move down, if we get a move up out of this thing, out of this thing, out of this pattern that we're stuck in, out of this range that we're stuck in for so long, it's gonna be, it's gonna potentially go up at the very least into the resistance. And if we get a move down out of this range, then it's gonna go probably lower than where people are expecting it to go. So that's what I'm getting at out of this. The only thing that I rely on, the only thing that I can say I would trade based on is this diagonal line. So I'm just gonna take this off because this is like, this can get adjusted and readjusted. It doesn't hold weight for me. But this is like, there's not much adjustment you can do to this. Like you can move it a little bit this way, a little bit this way, but it's still there. Like there's, the price action has respected it, that it's solidified. So yeah, I would trade based on this. I would adjust my trade based on this because I'm waiting to see if I'm gonna let my short from 35 just run and have this breakdown, or if I'm gonna have my long from 31, which is hedging the short, be the one that I want to leave open and get rid of the short, because the PNL is locked in. The PNLs have been locked in, and every time I close, it gets cashed out, and just it re-adds to the PNL. So yeah, basically I'm looking to adjust based on what this trend line is going to do for us. So that's a little follow up there. My trades are basically the same, nothing's changed yet, and if there's any updates, I'll put it in the next videos. So we'll just do the usual, the 3-day down to the lower time frames. So the 3-day at this posture is gonna close in about like 3.5 hours, 4 hours. This is good. This nice bullish engulfing. Stokes are curling on here, like it. Yeah, it's this one because obviously this one's super reactive. This one's not, but if I see this posture in this one, that means this already went below, because Stokes is reactive and it basically corrects itself in the moment. Like as the price was breaking down on that candle, or when the price was below, before we had this bullish engulfing, this would have been down. This would have been below the box. But because it was the next candle that came was so strong, it actually made the Stokes erase itself. Like this, actually, the lines retract. The drawings that it shows retracts in real time, and basically makes the print according to the candles after it's closed. But in the moment, if somebody was watching this, like before this big candle came, these would have been below. So this would be a potential uh, signal for me to change my bias a little bit towards the upside based on one of the Stokes. Obviously, I want at least 2 out of 3. So momentum to the upside is increasing on MACD. Stokes still hasn't printed it yet. It's still showing to the downside. Volatility is not telling me too much. RSI not really saying much. No divergence. This is still not doing anything. Not really giving me the posture I want. 2-day, nice bullish engulfing on the previous close, and oh, we have another close here too. So yeah, looks constructive. Looks constructive. We have a bullish oh, there's a bullish divergence potentially being built. That's why it just turned off, because it's not confirmed yet. So that has to confirm basically based on RSI and price action. So we'll get to that on the RSI chart. Stokes turning up. It's not turning up from the very bottom, but it kind of yeah, no, I'm basically just gonna look at it for a guide for a general direction, but I wouldn't say it gave a buy signal because it didn't go outside and come back in. And keep in mind, like, if the 3-day even has, like, if what the 3-day Stoke, oh, this froze again. If the 3-day Stoke had the signal that I was the posture and the signal that I was looking for, basically going outside of the box, coming back in, it still doesn't mean that I would just jump the gun and just start longing from there. It just means the higher time frames have the potential to turn around. And the way I would trade it is, if I see that, I'll go to a lower time frame and look and see if it's getting a posture that's similar, if it's giving a signal, and then I would trade based on the 3-day on a lower time frame if I'm gonna scalp it. Like, I never look at a time frame and trade on that. I basically look at a higher time frame, get an idea of direction, and then go below that time frame a little bit and trade, even for my long-term trades, because it puts me alongside alongside the trend basically, and allows me to have basically, it keeps me safer. So 2-day on our momentum and volatility. Momentum's to the upside. Stokes is basically catching up to. Volatility bottomed, and this one is not really saying much. 2-day on our RSI, RTSI. So there was a divergence being confirmed here, but it just turned off because I guess the price is not meeting the criteria. So there's potential for a bullish divergence here. It just has to basically just has to get confirmed basically. So it's because it just turned off. So Yeah, not really giving me what I want. So yeah, we can see here it just came back on again. So here we need this actually has to close above the EMA, I believe, or it has to, because this is sensitive to the price action. I believe if this takes out the top of this candle, it would be fully confirmed. I'm not sure how the guy coded this, but he coded it in a way that it's very hard for it to make a mistake. Like, it literally gets everything, like 99% of the time, almost 100% of the time gets it right. So the way it's coded, it's super sensitive, and if it gives you a dotted signal, it means it's not fully confirmed, but if it's aligned, that means it's good to go. So a dotted signal means like it's almost meeting the criteria, and obviously waits for a close. So yeah, there's potential for it on the 2 day, and that's nice. See, it turned off again. So yeah, we'll just do daily now on our stoke chart. Daily's up, and this is what I've been talking about. Like, I said I was bearish like until we were here, and after this happened, we did take out the high on the daily, but I still wanted to see some what do you call it? I still wanted it to see being more constructive, because right now we have lower lows, we haven't confirmed a higher low yet. We have higher highs, we've taken out the high, but no higher lows yet. So for an uptrend to be confirmed by textbook definition, you need higher lows too. So I need a higher red over here somewhere. Like this could just literally just fall down and just spit out the whole rally, and then give us the red, and that would just basically that would just destroy everything that this is building. Like, it already got the higher high, which is actually the higher part, the harder part. So structure is there. Structure is being constructive. Daily on our momentum and volatility. Volatility increasing to the upside on the MACD. On the Stokes is decreasing. The downside momentum is decreasing, leaning a little bit more towards the upside. Volatility is because we had this expansion as the price was breaking down, and now that the price is going up, it's like basically retracting. So not really telling me much there. And this one started expanding as the price going up. So as I mentioned before, these two are actually are in confluence with each other and saying the same thing. So it could potentially come to the upside now. Like, this is why I've been saying, like, if I see the structure being built, if I see potential, then I will start switching my bias. And right now, like, any time frames daily and below have a lot of potential, and we even saw that potential signal on the 3 day on the Stokes, on one of the Stokes. So I'm starting to lean from a neutral place a little bit towards the upside. Like, I'm starting, like, I don't want to say bullish, but I'm starting to get a little excited here. So it all depends on the overall things that we've been talking about, especially that diagonal trend line, that triangle thing. Like, that trend line is going to be the deciding factor basically, and everything else, the bias of everything else, the odds of everything else that we talk about in these charts, like this the volatility stuff, the momentum stuff, is basically yeah. So, great, the chart froze again. So the 2 day had the divergence, and it's coming back again. Sorry, we just have to wait for this to. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I think I need to reset my browser or something, or just reset my computer. It's been on for, like, I don't know, a couple months now. Yeah, nothing else on this one. So if this chart will unfreeze, we can move on, sir. Oh, great. There we go. Yeah, so we'll put this on the daily as well. I don't think there's divergences on the daily. Yeah, no divergences. TSI just not doing anything, with the posture. I'm not giving the posture I want. So we're getting rejected by the 21 as we have been this whole pretty much since like mid-June. Yeah, basically I want a higher low here. I want a higher low, and keep in mind we are going into the weekend, so that's gonna make it everything even that much harder to see the true picture. Like the whole liquidity grab and weekend scam is coming up, so I would be on the safe side and not try to front run this in any direction, because at this point it could still go either way. So like there's potential for the upside definitely. So, but it could still spit out the whole rally and go the other way because we don't have a higher low. The pattern that we talked about, it could either be broken or it could still be inside, and like whatever direction the price breaks out of that range, it's gonna be violent. It's gonna be a good trade on whatever direction it goes. So it's not really good to jump the gun on it. It's best to have the maximum amount of confirmations you can have. So we'll go to the 12 hour. The 12 hour has the higher low. 12 hour has taken out the high, it has the higher low. So we have a confirmed uptrend on the 12 hour. Stokes are up, it still has more room to go. Looking constructive. Definitely looking constructive. 12 hour on volatility. So volatility here is expanding as the price is going up, and on this one it was expanding as the price was going down. So these two have the confluence again, so I'm gonna have to say volatility on daily and on the 12 hour is on the side of the price action going up. So the fact that this is expanding as this is going up, that's a good sign for the bulls. Momentum on the Stokes is increasing, momentum on MACD is increasing. So these are all good, and basically everything below daily is just bullish. And I believe they all have confirmed uptrends. So we just need the daily to put a higher low, and then we'll have more confluence. Yeah, nothing much, nothing else there. 12 hour on our momentum and RSI, or sorry, on our RSI and TSI. Nothing on the RSI. RTSI might be, yeah, it's doing a little sharp curve. I want to see more out of this. I want to see this. We can kind of see like a range here, like a descending channel. Like I want it to come out. I want it to do something that's noticeably different. It's like it's curving. It's good. Like it's curling out. It has a sharp V recovery, whatever shape you want to call it. Like it does have the V action going. um, 4 hour on Stokes. Little. It stayed up for a really long time, and now it's curling down a bit. Obviously, it needs to cool off. And we have a confirmed uptrend on this still. So we put out the high here. We took out yeah, this is our higher low, and I believe this is the because I like to see it take this one out. Like technically, if it when it took this one out, it still counts. But I don't really call this a high. This is more like a sideways whatever, you know, sideways two dojis. But like to be honest, like once I saw this take this out, this is where I hedged. Like around 31 is my average entry for my hedge for my short. So I took action here, but the textbook definition is actually, hmm, it would be this one because this is the clear high. These are local highs. This you want it to take out the high, and it did take it out here. It confirmed it here, and obviously, right over here, we this is more like local lows. So the right over here, we confirmed the higher low, and right over here, we confirmed the higher high. So 4 hour is definitely on an uptrend unless it just decides to spit it out. But yeah, so still constructive, looking good. Even though we have a little Stoke sell signal, momentum is gonna be a little bit towards the downside after that. But we'll see what this chart says. Yeah, upside momentum is decreasing on MACD and on Stoke. And it just needs to cool off. So volatility is not telling me too much. And the chart's frozen. Is it frozen? No. Lucky. Okay, 4 hour on. There is potential divergence. here. Yeah, it's saying there's potential for a bull divergence. Let me see this one, because it would be, yeah, it's here too. I believe that's the phantom divergence. I still haven't I haven't even had time to watch the video on the full details of what these colors mean and what this little circle means and what's like. I haven't had time, but it's just like I know the textbook stuff. If it's at the bottom, it's a bullish divergence. If it's at the top, it's a bearish divergence. And it's just like the RSI is going high and the price is going low, then I believe that's bull. And if it's the opposite, if it's bear, it's just, this kind of makes me lazy. Like it makes me not really pay too much attention to the technical details of it. So I do have to go back and kind of review it and make sure that I can trade divergence without having these fancy things on the chart, because it's kind of it's like spell check. Like you forget how to spell by using spell check so much. So it's good to have it, but you know it's kind of like makes you lazy and makes you not be able to function without it. So yeah, that's basically everything for today. um I would say be safe going into the weekend. I'm still uh I haven't chosen a side yet. Like I'm starting to kind of get excited, like looking to see, I'm liking the structure that I'm seeing and looking to see this turn bullish, because it makes more sense for the market to go up now and go up to the high time frame resistance and then come back down and then test the lows and bring max pain. It's just, it doesn't make sense. Like we had this giant dump and sideways and then have more dump. It's just like, you know, it's really gonna destroy the liquidity of the market. But if it comes back up, get some people excited, grab some liquidity, do a nice little bull run fake out, and then go back down, that would make more sense in the eyes of a market maker, because they want the maximum liquidity and they want to push it the opposite direction of what everybody's thinking. And everybody's just bearish. Like the funding has been negative like forever. Everybody's just holding their shorts. So yeah, I'm still like in the middle, and I'm still uh hedging my hedge. Like I haven't picked a side yet, so I'm gonna play it safe as long as I can, and I'm gonna wait for maximum confirmations and the most amount of confidence I can have on the chart with everything. So I'll leave it at that. For tomorrow's video, I'll do it after the daily close and on Sunday's video as well. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, have a wonderful weekend. Take care, be safe, and see you tomorrow.